You've stocked rice, beans, and water, but it's not the obvious items that vanish first. It's the unexpected essentials. As June approaches, hidden pressure points in the food supply are already showing cracks. And these 10 grocery items are about to get scarce. Not because of panic buying, but because of packaging shortages, regional demand spikes, and silent distribution cuts. If you wait, they'll be gone, and you'll be the one staring at an empty shelf thinking, I should have grabbed that. In this video, we're breaking down the items most shoppers are overlooking, but smart preppers are already stashing. Subscribe now so you don't miss what everyone else will be scrambling for. Everyone expects the basics to run low during a crisis: flour, canned goods, bottled water. But the reality is, the most disruptive shortages often come from the things no one saw coming. Everyday grocery items you depend on without thinking, until they vanish. As we approach June 2025, quiet shortages are already unfolding. And if you're not ahead of them, you could be stuck without key foods, cooking aids, or household staples. This list isn't fear, it's foresight. Let's uncover the 10 surprising grocery items you'll seriously wish you'd bought while they were still on the shelf. Number 1, shelf-stable whipping cream. When you think of survival food, you probably picture beans, rice, or canned meat. But one item quietly rising in value among smart preppers is shelf-stable whipping cream, usually sold in UHT boxes. Why? Because it delivers something most emergency food lacks: calories, fat, and flavor. In a crisis, high-fat foods are critical. They fuel your body longer, help balance your blood sugar, and add richness to otherwise bland meals. Most people don't realize that a few tablespoons of cream can transform powdered soup, instant mashed potatoes, or dehydrated pasta into something comforting, filling, and satisfying. And unlike refrigerated cream, UHT whipping cream has been ultra-heat treated for a long shelf life, 6 to 12 months unrefrigerated, as long as the seal is intact. That means you can keep it in your pantry, bug-out bag, or camp kit without worry. No freezer, no spoilage, and no reliance on the power grid. What's driving the current risk? As of spring 2025, global dairy markets are under pressure. Higher feed costs, fewer exports, and limited processing capacity are hitting the value added dairy sector. That includes shelf-stable creams, condensed milk, and powdered dairy. Smaller store brands are reducing variety, and restocks are less frequent in discount chains and rural areas. And here's the kicker: shelf-stable whipping cream isn't just for coffee or desserts. You can use it to make gravy, cream sauces, scrambled eggs, baked goods, and even rehydrated cheese blends. One carton opens up dozens of meal possibilities when your ingredient list is running thin. What should you do now? Stock at least 4 to 6 cartons per person in your long-term pantry. Go for UHT cream labeled whipping cream or heavy cream, ideally 30% or higher fat content. These versions perform best in cooking and storing. Keep them in a cool, dark place and rotate every 6 months. Pro tip: once opened, use within 3-5 days and refrigerate. If you're off-grid, only open what you can use immediately. Because when your meals start getting repetitive and calorie intake matters more than ever, this isn't a luxury, it's a compact, high-energy food upgrade. And that's why shelf-stable whipping cream isn't just for chefs, it's a kitchen weapon for the well-prepared. Number 2, powdered cheese or cheese sauce. Mix when the power's out and the fridge is dead. Your cheese goes with it, fast. That's why powdered cheese and cheese sauce mixes are an underrated prepping essential. They pack flavor, calories, and protein into a dry, shelf-stable form that stores for up to 10 years if sealed properly. And the best part? You don't need refrigeration, cooking skills, or even much water. Most people think of cheese sauce as something that comes in a box of mac and cheese, but preppers know better. You can now buy cheddar powder, nacho-style blends, and white cheese mixes in bulk containers or sealed pouches. These aren't just topping powders. They're full-on flavor builders, nutrient boosters, and survival comfort food in disguise. Here's why they matter. Emergency food gets bland. Rice, beans, pasta, oats, they'll keep you alive, but they won't make you excited to eat. Cheese powder changes that. Stir it into mashed potatoes, sprinkle it over dehydrated veggies, melt it into instant rice, or create creamy sauces with powdered milk and a bit of oil. Suddenly, survival food tastes like something you'd actually look forward to. And it's not just about taste. Cheese powder delivers fat, protein, and salt, 3 things your body craves when calories are low and stress is high. It also mixes instantly. No need for full stovetops or extended fuel usage. That's a major win when gas, electricity, or firewood is limited. As of 2025, dairy powders are quietly experiencing price hikes. Global dairy supply chains have been hit hard by weather events, reduced export quotas, and ingredient prioritization for infant formula and protein powders. That means less output for specialty food products like cheese powders, smaller survival. Food brands have already reported longer lead times and rising wholesale costs. What should you do now? Start with at least one large container per household member. Look for Narg 10 cans, Mylar pouches, or vacuum-sealed tubs from trusted food storage brands. Choose real cheese powder, not just cheese-flavored, for the best nutrition and shelf life. Pro tip: if you find boxed mac and cheese on sale, stockpile those too. The cheese packet stores well even if the pasta doesn't last as long. Because when food fatigue sets in and flavor becomes fuel, cheese isn't
just comfort, it's strategy. And that's why powdered cheese is more than a mix. It's a survival upgrade hiding in plain sight.
Number 3, dry soup mixes. In any emergency, blackout, storm, supply chain crash, the number one challenge after water is food that's hot, fast, and low maintenance. That's exactly why dry soup mixes deserve a spot in every serious prepper's pantry. These just add water packets may look simple, but they deliver big when the pressure's on. We're not talking about fancy gourmet soups here. We're talking about powdered or dehydrated blends, split pea, chicken noodle, potato leek, lentil curry that cook in minutes, require almost no fuel, and taste like real food. Just boil water, stir, and serve. That's priceless when you're low on time, energy, or cooking tools. Dry soup mixes are shelf-stable for 12 to 25 years, depending on packaging. They're compact, lightweight, and versatile. You can stretch them with rice or pasta, enrich them with powdered milk or cheese, or mix in canned meat or veggies. Suddenly, a packet of soup turns into a full, hearty meal. The nutritional value is also higher than most people think. Quality mixes offer protein, fiber, sodium, and essential vitamins, perfect for keeping your energy up without needing a full kitchen setup. And when stress is high and routines are broken, a hot bowl of soup is as much a morale booster as it is a meal. So why are these items at risk? Because they're flying under the radar. As more people catch on to long-term food planning, dry soup mixes are quietly vanishing from warehouse stores and online bulk suppliers. Smaller brands can't keep up with sudden spikes in demand, and shipping delays are already impacting restock timelines. The closer we get to June, the more likely these lightweight meals will disappear. What should you do now? Stock up on a variety of soup mixes. Don't rely on one flavor or brand. Look for low-sodium options and ones that require minimal cook time. Store in a cool, dry location and transfer to Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers if long-term storage is your goal. Pro tip: always have a few individual-sized packs in your go bag or car kit. When you need something hot, fast, and nourishing, these mixes outperform freeze-dried meals in both speed and simplicity. Because when fuel runs low, energy runs out, and your appetite's still running, dry soup mixes keep everything moving. And that's why they're more than just soup. They're a survival essential in disguise. Number 4. Shelf-stable pickles or fermented vegetables. When it comes to survival food, most people think about calories, carbs, and protein. But there's a vital piece almost everyone forgets: gut health. And that's where shelf-stable pickles and fermented vegetables come in. These aren't just tangy sides, they're digestion boosters, mood stabilizers, and long-lasting flavor bombs. Let's get into why they matter. During a crisis, your diet shifts drastically. You eat more canned food, fewer fresh greens, and often very little fiber. That kind of shift throws your digestive system off fast. Fermented foods like pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi, and pickled beets contain natural probiotics, which support gut balance, reduce inflammation, and improve nutrient absorption. Shelf-stable varieties are ideal. You can store them unrefrigerated until opened, and most have a shelf life of 12 to 24 months when sealed. Look for glass jars or vacuum-sealed plastic with vinegar or brine-based preservation. These products are often overlooked in the prepper community because they don't provide bulk calories, but what they do offer is just as important: flavor, acidity, and gut support. And here's where it gets strategic. Vinegar-based pickles and ferments also act as natural appetite stimulants, helping you eat when stress or bland food kills your hunger. They cut through palate fatigue, especially when you've been eating rice, beans, oats, or powdered meals for days. Why stock them now? Because fermented foods are made in small batches, often by niche or regional producers. They disappear quickly when people start buying more shelf-stable goods. During the early stages of the pandemic, fermented foods saw a quiet surge in demand, not because of trends, but because people started feeling the digestive impact of long-term food storage diets. What should you do? Start with 4 to 6 jars of different types. Prioritize pickles, sauerkraut, and kimchi that are labeled shelf-stable or are found outside of the refrigerated section. Store them in a cool pantry and rotate by expiration. Date. Pro tip, pickle brine is useful too. Add it to soups, marinades, or drink small amounts to support hydration and digestion. Don't throw it out, because when your stomach is uneasy, your food is bland, and your nutrition's inconsistent, fermented vegetables become more than condiments. They're a crisis of comfort with a biological benefit. And that's why pickles aren't just tangy treats. They're digestive gold for serious survival. Number 5. Instant oatmeal packets. When a crisis hits, breakfast becomes more than just a meal. It's a moment of normalcy. And nothing delivers that better, faster, or cheaper than instant oatmeal packets. They're shelf-stable, lightweight, fast to prepare, and packed with the nutrients that keep your body fueled and your mood stabilized. Instant oatmeal packets are often overlooked because they're seen as basic. But in survival scenarios, basic is exactly what you need. Just add hot water. No cooking, no cleanup, and no guesswork. Each packet contains complex carbs, fiber, and sometimes added protein or vitamins depending on the brand. That makes them ideal for kids, seniors, or anyone with limited appetite or energy in a high-stress situation. And it's not just about breakfast. You can eat oatmeal any time of day, sweet or savory. Add peanut butter, canned fruit, powdered, milk, honey, or a pinch of salt and oil, and you've turned a packet into a full meal. Flavored varieties, apple cinnamon, maple brown sugar, raisin spice, also boost morale and reduce food fatigue when other meals get repetitive. Why is this item quietly at risk before June 2025? Because oats have taken a hit globally. Droughts in Canada and Europe have lowered yield forecasts, and oat-based products, including non-dairy milk, have seen a surge in demand. On top of that, instant oatmeal packets require flavored powder blends, packaging materials, and fine milling, all of which are facing cost increases and supply chain delays. Retailers are responding by cutting less popular flavors, shrinking packet sizes, or removing multi-packs from shelves entirely. And when people begin panic buying breakfast staples like cereal and milk, instant oatmeal is the next to vanish. What should you do? Buy in bulk now, both flavored and plain. Store in a dry bin or airtight container to prevent insect damage and moisture spoilage. One family-size box can last weeks when rationed, and the cost per meal is still one of the lowest in any grocery aisle. Pro tip, add a thermos or insulated mug to your prep kit. You can cook oatmeal on the go by pouring in boiling water and sealing the lid, ready in minutes. Because when you need energy fast, clean up light, and comfort on a spoon, instant, oatmeal delivers every time. And that's why it's not just breakfast, it's a strategic, morale-saving, shelf-stable staple. Number 6, flavored drink powders or electrolyte mixes water is critical in every emergency. But plain water, day after day, can get hard to drink. That's where flavored drink powders and electrolyte mixes become essential. They're more than just flavor boosters. They help with hydration, energy, and morale during stressful times. In a crisis, your body loses fluids faster than usual, especially in heat, illness, or physical exertion. Electrolyte mixes restore essential salts like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, which are necessary to keep your muscles functioning, your brain sharp, and your blood pressure stable. Without them, you risk fatigue, dizziness, and even heat. Stroke, even if you're drinking water. That's why drink powders aren't just a comfort. They're hydration insurance. Prepping with these is smart for a few key reasons. First, they're compact and shelf-stable. You can store a year's worth of mixes in a shoebox, and they'll stay good for 1 to 3 years depending on packaging. Second, they don't require cooking or refrigeration, just tear, pour, and stir. That's a big win in low-fuel or off-grid scenarios. And don't underestimate their psychological value. In an extended emergency, when food is bland and routines are broken, flavored drinks provide a boost in taste and morale. That's especially true for kids, who may refuse to drink enough plain water or eat salty foods without something sweet to balance it. As of 2025, several big-name electrolyte and sports drink brands are already cutting back on bulk variety packs, focusing instead on single-flavor shipments due to flavoring compound shortages. Smaller health brands are reporting delays in citric acid imports and flavor production, 2 critical components of powdered drink mixes. That means your favorite hydration mix might be gone or double in price within weeks. Stock up while inventory is steady. What should you do now? Buy a mix of electrolyte-specific packets, like Liquid IV, Drip Drop, or Pedialyte, and flavored drink powders, like Tang, Crystal Light, or store-brand versions. Rotate based on taste preferences and expiration dates. Store in airtight bins, or bug-out bags for easy access. Pro tip, pack a few in every go bag and vehicle kit. If you ever get stranded, overheated, or dehydrated, you'll be glad you did. Because when plain water isn't enough and you need real replenishment, a scoop of powder can make the difference between drained and ready. And that's why drink mixes aren't just flavor. They're functional fuel for real survival. Number 7. Shelf-stable grated Parmesan or cheese crumbles cheese is one of the first things to disappear when the power goes out, and one of the hardest things to replace. That's why shelf-stable grated Parmesan or cheese crumbles deserve a place in your survival pantry. These products offer the richness, salt, and satisfaction of real cheese without requiring refrigeration. Let's break it down. Most people don't realize that Parmesan cheese, when sealed and processed correctly, has a naturally long shelf life. Commercial grated Parmesan, often found in plastic canisters or sealed foil packets, can last up to 12 to 18 months on the shelf. That's rare in the dairy world. And it's not just about shelf life, it's about function. Parmesan is a flavor multiplier. A tablespoon can upgrade bland pasta, soup, or rice into something savory and satisfying. In an emergency diet that's heavy on shelf-stable carbs, flavor becomes critical, not just for morale, but to keep people eating when appetite drops under stress. Nutritionally, Parmesan delivers protein, calcium, and fat, all essential in a low-resource situation. It's also salty, which helps with electrolyte balance, especially if you're sweating more or drinking low-sodium water. So why is this item vulnerable now? Because it relies on aged cheese supply, packaging materials, and a refrigerated to ambient supply chain. In 2025, disruptions in global dairy trade, rising demand for plant-based products, and packaging shortages are shrinking availability. Smaller grocery stores are already cutting back on non-refrigerated cheese items to make room for faster-moving SKUs. And when storm season hits or people start prepping for heat-related outages, this is the kind of product that quietly vanishes, just like powdered milk or canned butter. What should you do now? Stock 3-4 containers of shelf-stable Parmesan per household member. Look for vacuum-sealed or shaker-style packaging with clear expiration dates. Store in a cool, dry location and check for hardening or spoilage signs before each use. Pro tip: cheese powders are a great alternative, but real grated cheese packs more punch in flavor and texture. Keep both in rotation if you can, because when your meals are running on rations and you need taste, calories, and comfort, a sprinkle of Parmesan isn't just garnish, it's gear. And that's why it belongs on your shelf, not in your fridge, long before the next shortage hits. Number 8. Canned pineapple or citrus. When preparing for a crisis, most people think of protein and carbs, but they forget one of the most vital nutrients, vitamin C. And that's where canned pineapple, mandarin oranges, and citrus blends come in. These fruits aren't just sweet snacks. They're long-lasting sources of immune-boosting nutrition, and they could make the difference between staying healthy and getting sick. Why is this so important? In long-term emergencies, access to fresh fruit disappears. Your diet quickly becomes repetitive, heavy in starches and grains, and dangerously low in vitamins. Without enough vitamin C, your body can't maintain its immune function or heal properly. That leads to fatigue, infections, and in worst-case scenarios, even scurvy. Yes, scurvy still exists, and it's not just a pirate problem. It's a real threat in food-insecure environments, especially when fruit is unavailable for extended periods. Canned pineapple and citrus are excellent choices because they're acidic, shelf-stable, and packed with vitamin C. A small can often delivers 50% to 100% of your daily requirement. And because they're preserved in juice or light syrup, they don't require refrigeration until opened. Sealed properly, they last up to 2 to 3 years in cool storage. They also provide quick energy from natural sugars and hydration from the juice. That makes them perfect for people with low appetite, kids, elderly individuals, or anyone needing a fast recovery food during illness. So why are these items at risk before June 2025? Global citrus production is facing major challenges. Brazil and parts of the U.S. are battling citrus greening disease and weather extremes. Shipping costs from tropical fruit producers like Thailand and the Philippines are rising. Meanwhile, schools and institutions are buying in bulk again post-pandemic, putting strain on wholesale fruit canning. Retailers are quietly limiting variety, pulling back multi-packs, and increasing prices, especially on name brand options. What should you do now? Stock 6 to 8 cans per household member. Focus on pineapple chunks, mandarin oranges, and mixed fruit and juice. Avoid heavy syrup if you're watching sugar, but any form is better than none. Pro tip: Use the juice as a natural sweetener in oatmeal, rice, or baked goods. Don't waste it. It's hydration and nutrition in one. Because when your body's running on survival mode and fresh produce is a memory, a can of pineapple can literally keep you going. And that's why it's not just fruit. It's a shelf-stable shot of survival-grade vitamin C. Number 9. Dry pancake or waffle mix. Just add water. Pancakes might sound like comfort food, but in a survival scenario, dry pancake or waffle mix becomes a smart and flexible meal solution. The key? Go for the just add water type. It's quick, energy-dense, shelf-stable, and only needs basic heat to cook. These mixes are packed with carbs, some fat, and usually added calcium and iron, which makes them more than just filler. They're easy on the stomach, kid-friendly, and fast to prep when time, fuel, or energy is limited. In fact, they're one of the few emergency foods that feel normal, and that alone is a major morale booster. Why do you need this before June 2025? Because baking supply chains are under stress. Ingredient imports like flour, leavening agents, and powdered milk, core components in these mixes, have seen rising costs and slower restocks. Bulk pancake mix is also commonly bought, up by institutions like shelters and camps during the summer season, which means store shelves can empty without much warning. Another overlooked benefit? Versatility. You can use pancake mix to make flatbreads, fry cakes, dumplings, or even as a batter base for other ingredients. If you have powdered eggs or oil, the mix becomes even more adaptable. What to do now? Buy multi-pound bags or boxed pouches and check expiration dates. Look for mixes labeled complete or just add water. Store them in airtight bins or mylar bags for long-term use. Pro tip: if cooking surfaces are limited, you can even make pancakes in a pan over a campfire, solar oven, or hot plate. No oven required. Because when you need calories, comfort, and a break from beans and rice, a stack of flapjacks might just be your most satisfying survival meal. And that's why pancake mix isn't just breakfast. It's a morale-saving, multi-use meal tool you'll regret not grabbing early. Number 10. Shelf-stable pudding cups or fruit cups. In the world of prepping, calories and nutrients matter, but so does comfort, and that's where shelf-stable pudding cups and fruit cups come in. These aren't just snacks for kids. They're compact, morale-boosting survival essentials that offer energy, hydration, and emotional relief when stress is high. Let's start with the basics. Pudding cups provide quick carbs, some fat, and sugar, all of which help sustain energy when you're low on full meals or doing physical work. Fruit cups, especially those packed in juice, add hydration, fiber, and vitamins like C and A, nutrients often lacking in shelf-heavy food plans. They require no refrigeration, no utensils, if you plan ahead, and no preparation, just peel and eat. That makes them ideal for blackout conditions, evacuation shelters, bug-out bags, or road emergencies. So why do you need these before June 2025? Because demand spikes sharply in summer. Schools, camps, and travel kits all pull from the same supply pools. Meanwhile, production relies on single-serve packaging and preservatives, both of which have seen delays due to shortages in plastics and food-safe stabilizers. Retailers also tend to undervalue these items for emergency prep, keeping lower inventory and slower restocks than core staples. That means once people start bulk buying for the summer season, these cups vanish fast. And quietly. What to do now? Buy a mix of pudding and fruit cups in packs of 12 or more. Choose varieties with juice over syrup for better nutritional value. Check expiration dates. Most stay fresh for 12 to 18 months unopened. Pro tip: these also make fantastic trade items in a barter-based situation, portable, familiar, and universally liked. Because when everyone around you is exhausted, anxious, and rationing dry goods, a cool bite of fruit or pudding can feel like a luxury. And that's why these aren't just snacks, they're ready-to-eat relief in a plastic cup. The next shortage won't hit with a warning, and it won't be the obvious items that disappear first. It'll be the overlooked essentials, the items you didn't realize you needed until they were gone, but now you know better. From flavor boosters to gut support, quick meals to morale lifts, each of these 10 items plays a role in keeping you prepared, nourished, and calm when shelves go bare. Stock up smart, not scared. Don't wait for the rush. If this list helped you rethink your grocery prep, hit that like button. Drop a comment. What surprising item are you grabbing first? Subscribe for weekly prepping insights that help you stay ahead, not behind.